A Rise Mzansi government can help the people of KZN put food on the table. This is by Nonkululeko Hlongwane Mhlongo. The rising levels of inequality in South Africa reignite the words of Jacques Diouf, who said that hunger is not an issue of charity, it is an issue of justice. Indeed, the issues associated with the hunger and provision of food for our people cannot be void of justice, and this is why, as Rise Mzansi, we are advocating for new leaders of society who will tackle the issue of food insecurity in this country, in KwaZulu-Natal in particular, and deliver a better life for our people. Unemployment is on an upward trajectory, and unfortunately, this means that millions of South Africans are condemned to destitution and a future that is without any prospects in this current dispensation. We have more people benefiting from the social grant system as opposed to those who are working, contributing through taxes, and are able to self-sustain. Perhaps the hindrance to the progression and what strips the dignity of people is the inability to self-sustain and provide for their families. The dependency cycle created by the failed ANC government has further entrenched the poverty cycle in our country, and the spillover effects are the social ills witnessed through substance abuse, high crime levels, and unemployed young people. KwaZulu-Natal is one of the biggest provinces in South Africa with a population of over 12 million people according to the census reports of the 2022. With unemployed captured at 32.9% in the province, it paints a black picture because it means that residents in KZN are unable to live a long, healthy, dignified life, as these are dependent on one's ability to take care of themselves, which requires financial means. Unfortunately, the economic outlook in KZN means that older people are still working to feed as opposed to the younger generation taking over. There are no jobs, and the situation is exacerbated by the 35-year entry-level job limit, which shuts a significant portion of society out of accessing economic opportunities. These are the makings of a government that has no plan for its people, one that cannot build communities that are designed for success. You see it in our education system that is reproducing employees and little to no emphasis of teaching skills that can assist our people become employers and not depend solely on seeking employment in a shrinking economy. The people of KZN are talented, and Rise Mzansi government would take full advantage of that for the benefit of the people. Rise Mzansi would focus on creating dignified employment and assisting our people of self-sustain. The people of this province have access to vast arable land that they can use to farm on a subsistence and commercial level. The unreliable water supply and lack of electricity make it impossible for our people to fully exploit the land that should ideally provide food, employment, and shelter. If we can turn our focus to land, we can deal with the issues of the 35-year exclusion. We can deal with malnutrition, as our people would be able to produce healthy food from their gardens. Nutritious food is key to dealing with the issue of stunting experienced by hundreds of school kids across the province of KZN. A situation that can be remedied through the provision of food. By producing their own food and trading on a small and eventually large scale, many households will naturally wane off the social relief system and restore their dignity by demonstrating the ability to self-sustain. The cost of living continues to rise while ordinary South Africans battle to put food on the table. through the reimagining of the school system to one that favors technical skills and create a conducive environment for farming and self-sustenance. The people of KwaZulu-Natal will regain their dignity. This, however, requires a government with a plan, one that is geared at creating successful communities, as it is only through creating multiple opportunities that this country can reach its full potential. Rise Mzansi can create an equal society by strengthening family structures. A progressive society can best be described as one that looks after its women and creates an environment where they can thrive in all areas of their lives. This includes tackling challenges related to teenage pregnancies, decisively dealing with gender-based violence, and accelerating court processes that deals with issues that cause women to become sole economic providers in households. The Rise Mzansi 2024 election manifesto alludes to the fact that the family, whatever its structure or composition, is the epicenter of most people's lives. This is not just a statement but a reality we want to create in South Africa. However, current data indicates that women carry a disproportionate share of responsibility for sustaining the family structure. Women head a struggling 42% of the country's households, which is exceptionally high in largely rural provinces such as Eastern Cape and Limpopo, leading with 49.6% and 47.1% respectively. Yet, despite their invaluable contributions, single mothers in our countries are often overlooked, underpaid, and burdened with the weight of care work. In every corner of South Africa, they face a myriad challenges stemming from systemic neglect of societal indifference. Struggling to make ends meet on merged wages, they are forced to make difficult choices daily, sacrificing their well-being for the sake of their loved ones. Moreover, the burden of care falls indecorously on their shoulders as they navigate the complexities of child rearing without the support of absent fathers. With millions of households led by women, these mothers bear the emotional and financial responsibility of raising their children on their own, often with little to no assistance. Many also find themselves caring for elderly parents, adding yet another layer of responsibility to their already heavy burden. Another factor in the challenges women face is teenage pregnancies. Over 100,000 births could be attributed to young adults in the previous year. Many of them are of school age, with a third failing to return to school to further their studies. KwaZulu-Natal is the province most affected by this. Teenage pregnancy often leads to women being sole providers of their children because not enough is being done to deter young people from engaging in sexual activities without the necessary precautions. This includes failing to educate the male child about the responsibilities of being a father and ensuring that health care facilities are within reach and are adequately equipped to arm young people with knowledge to make informed choices. At Rise Mzansi, we understand the plight of women and therefore call upon our fellow citizens to vote for political representatives who embody the values of the family as the epicenter of society. One where women thrive, contribute meaningfully to different sectors of society, and are not victims of GBV and slow court processes, especially about maintenance. We are committed to doing the following when we are given the opportunity to govern: raising the personal income tax threshold by introducing a tax relief of up to 30,000 Rand per annum, catering to the missing middle class who do not qualify for child support grants, Rise Mzansi will also increase the grant to align with the food poverty line of 680 Rand and over the next 2 years further increase it to 1,335 Rand. We will prioritize implementing Universal Early Childhood Development (ECD) programs as the National Development Plan outlines to provide accessible and affordable childcare and enable single mothers to pursue education and employment opportunities. Lastly, we will strengthen the court to enforce maintenance and orders and reform maintenance leave. Currently, the Department of Labor is battling to pay UIF to mothers on maternity leave. Above all, we need to create a culture where fathers are afforded more paternal leave. We stand with single mothers for justice, equality, and compassion. Let us unite as a nation to support those who need it most. Raise the voices of marginalized and build a future where every mother and child can thrive. The time for action is now. Let us vote to change, demand justice, and build a South Africa where joy and care are not just ideal, but realities for all. And that's it from Injibs Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.